When wildfires swept through Los Angeles last year, they destroyed homes, businesses, and houses of worship. Churches and synagogues came together to help those in need and each other. These acts of kindness formed a bond of unity between different denominations and faiths. CBN's Paul Petit reports from Ground Zero in Los Angeles.
When wildfires burned through this part of California in January of 2025, it destroyed more than 19,000 structures, mostly homes and businesses. The list also includes numerous synagogues and churches.
A palm branch probably flew across, got lodged into the eaves there, and it burned up through the ceiling and then down through that side of the building.
That resulted in the sanctuary of Calvary Palisades being declared a total loss. Rebuilding could cost up to $15 million.
One of the kind of ironies of this whole thing is my career has been a church planter.
Add to that, he was just appointed pastor here. The fires began just 2 days after his first sermon.
It happened, we immediately pivoted to, where do we go? What do we do?
20 minutes north, the area around Bel Air Church had to be evacuated. The congregation found refuge through an invitation from the rabbi at nearby Valley Beth Shalom.
They set up a room for us, they cooked food for us, and we gathered there for a number of weeks. And that changed everything, being on the receiving end of hospitality, because we had opportunities later on to turn the tables, to be hospitable to others who were displaced themselves. But it really started with receiving that hospitality first from our Jewish brothers and sisters.
That opportunity to serve came when Pastor Sams reached out to Pastor Anderson, although the two had never met.
But he just kept being persistent and saying, hey, we've got a chapel. You guys can use it if you ever need space. And eventually we did.
But this is no ordinary chapel. President Ronald Reagan once worshiped here. And it wasn't just enough for Bel Air to allow Calvary to use this chapel. They decided to refurbish it.
They repainted, recarpeted, pulled a bunch of stuff out, got it ready for us.
For months, Bel Air Church became a temporary home for Calvary Palisades, a display of unity in a time of tragedy.
It was kind of overwhelming, to be honest, the level of hospitality they were showing us. Completely unprompted, no relationship, just grace of God and being the church for each other.
Those are pictures of the kingdom of God.
A year later, evacuation orders are lifted. Calvary Palisades is now meeting in their school gym. The overall damage lingers, however, with nearly 90% of its community still displaced.
Palisades is generally a pretty affluent area, right? Not everybody, but generally so. And so we are used to being the ones who care for others. And so the opportunity to be cared for and the position that puts you in, that forcing you into a humble place to be served by somebody else, it's good for your soul. And it's been a good lesson for our congregation.
And sometimes when those things happen in life that God allows, sometimes mysteriously, it actually brings us back in a relationship with God, independence of God, trusting God. And then we're strengthened, and then we're sent out anew.
In Pacific Palisades, the road to recovery remains long. A year after the fires, it still looks apocalyptic here. Only about 400 of the 6,800 destroyed homes are under construction. Many churches burned down and some are not rebuilding. But out of the ashes, acts of hospitality forged unity. Faiths stood together, and that bond is now fueling a new beginning.
We want to be pioneers for the rebuilding of the Palisades, and we want to communicate to the rest of our community hey, we're back, we're here, we're building life here. Come be a part of that.
So I believe those that choose to do the long, hard work of rebuilding, because God calls them to that area, I truly believe that revival and renewal, a fresh wind of the Spirit's going to blow. I believe that God has brought Pastor Justin and that team for such a time as this, and we're going to see revival in the Palisades.
In Los Angeles, Paul Petit, CBN News.
In all the turmoil we're seeing in our country, all the division, the name calling, the using every single thing as some kind of political wedge to drive us apart, seeing former presidents in this bizarre caricature. It's just, what have we become as a nation? And our heart cry, can we please have righteous leadership in our country. It's wonderful to see stories like this, that God is on the move, in that we're still a good people and we still want to serve one another. We still want to be in community with one another. We still want to have one nation under God, indivisible. When disasters strike, we come back with love and compassion and unity and declare our love for one another and our love for God. Let's hold on to that standard. So long ago, what was the strength of the United States? Well, it's because we were good. And let's get back to that and have that be the standard going forward. Can we demand that of our politicians? Can we demand that of our leadership? Can we demand that even in our churches to say, what can we do and be good to our own community, to our city, to our state, to our nation, and then most importantly, what can we do to be good for the world so that we can complete the Great Commission? These are wonderful aspirations. Let's not just have it be words, let's have it be deeds as well.